Well, it's practically time to trade in our flip-flops and iced tea for hoodies and hot cider.
Not to mention some delicious fall treats that let us know that autumn is actually here.
And to get a jump start on all things sweet and yummy, 7 and 4's own Brendan Kinney joins us live this morning with a sneak peek at a few treats.
Good morning, Brendan.
Good morning to you, Holly and Melissa. Happy Monday morning, Northern Michigan. And we're having some chocolate for breakfast. I'm at Daughter's Grocer's Chocolate in Empire. Joining with me now, Jody Hayden. She's the owner here. Thanks so much for getting up early with us.
Yeah, thank you.
And so, if you can explain a little bit about the history, first of all, of your business here in Empire.
Yeah, first of all, we're Grocer's Daughter Chocolate.
Did I get this wrong?
Yeah,
oh,
that's
I
okay.
practiced?
It's
I'm
early.
sorry, Jody. Yeah, it's right here in front
Yeah.
of my face.
So we're Grocer's Daughter Chocolate. We were founded by Mimi Wheeler, who's originally from Denmark, and so she brought her love for chocolate to Little Empire. She had been making chocolate for 10 years all along. She was a dear friend of mine. I loved her chocolate and ate lots of it.
Yeah.
And so when she was ready to retire, she was looking for someone to buy the business, and DC and I stepped up to the challenge.
Mm-hmm. You and your husband, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
my husband and I.
And so you travel a little bit all over the world, I guess, to find the best chocolate for your customers then, right?
Yep.
Can you explain what this thing is? This is something you
Yeah.
find right in the wild there?
Yep, so this is what's called a cacao pod, and all cocoa is grown in pods on trees, and then the bean, there's usually 30 to 50 beans inside here.
Okay.
They're harvested by hand, which is a really painstaking process. They're fermented, they're dried, they're roasted, they're conched, and this is long before it ever even arrives to us. So it's quite, it's quite a labor of love to bring the chocolate just to our kitchen, where we make it into these these great little truffles and
Let's start talking
candies.
about what you do have on display here. And if only you could smell through television, but unfortunately we can't. If you want to explain, I guess over here we have some
Yeah.
bark.
Yeah, let's
all the way
start
over
with
there,
our bark. So our barks are some of our most popular items.
Can I pick up a piece too?
Yeah, you want to try it?
Oh, I mean, if you want, yeah, we
Yeah.
can always try it at 6 in the morning. Yeah, so this is the peppermint bark, right?
Yep, that's a peppermint bark. It's dark chocolate layered with white chocolate and then crushed organic peppermint. We're starting to get ready for the holidays, so we just made our first batch of this 2 days ago. And then we have our sea salt and milk dark chocolate bark. We top that with a smoked sea salt. It's smoked in Chardonnay barrels in France.
Okay.
And then we make the thin chocolate bark and sprinkle the sea salt. It's definitely one of our best sellers, along with our honey caramel, which is a sea salt as well.
So these are truffles?
These are considered bonbons. They're filled with honey caramels. We use a local honey instead of corn syrup or sugar in our honey caramels.
Sure, okay. And
Yeah.
too, you had mentioned earlier that there's some local products used in your products here, right?
Yep.
And so what do you want to start with here?
Yeah, so let's talk about our chocolate. We're really different from other chocolate companies because we use as much local as we do. This is Shetler's Heavy Cream. They're based in Kalkaska.
Okay.
So all of our truffles are filled with what's called a ganache center.
Sure.
We use the Shetler's Heavy Cream dark chocolate, and then whatever natural flavoring goes into it as well.
Okay. We have time maybe for just a couple more products.
Yeah.
You want to go with this?
This is Grand Traverse Distillery's 100% rye whiskey. We use that in our whiskey truffle. We also make a whiskey fig, which is a whiskey dark chocolate and cream ganache center. We dip the fig in dark chocolate, and it's amazing.
There's a lot going on here, and coming up in the next half hour, we're actually going to be making some of your products live on air, so we're going to be dipping some of this in chocolate, right? Some dried apples.
Some local apples from Frisk Orchards.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Well, thanks so much, Jody. Again, from Grocer's Daughter's Chocolate, not the other way around.
Right.
All right. But for now,
Thank
reporting
you.
live in Empire, Brendan Kinney, 7 and 4 News.
It's now 6:35. It's also practically time to trade in those flip-flops and iced tea for hoodies and some hot cider.
Not to mention some delicious fall treats that lets us know that autumn is actually about here. And to get a jump start on all things sweet and yummy, 7 and 4's own Brendan Kinney joins us live with a sneak peek at a few treats.
Good morning, Brendan. How's it going?
Good morning to you, Holly and Melissa. If you're wanting some chocolate for breakfast, this may be the best live shot for you this Monday morning. I'm joined now with Jody Hayden. She's the owner of Grocer's Daughter Chocolate in Empire. And we have a fun demonstration coming up. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
And so we were talking earlier about local products. If you can explain and what role that your business plays.
Right, so we're unique in that we use as many local and organic ingredients as we can in our chocolate. We use nothing artificial. And so this morning we're dipping apples from, it's called Nature's Treats. And they buy their apples from Frisk Orchards, so we've purchased these from 2 different local businesses,
Right.
and they're delicious. And so we're going to show you how to dip apples. We're also going to show you how we dip our hand-rolled truffles. We're also unique in that we still roll all of our kind of traditional truffles by hand, and then we dip them, which is it's an art.
Yeah.
And you'll see that.
Making us all hungry this morning. So yeah, let's take a look at that demonstration, Jody.
Okay. This is Maureen Gray. She is one of our chocolatiers in-house. She's also a sculptor, which you can see with her steady hands. But we take these dried apples and we dip them one by one. And as soon as we put them out in the shop, they're sold. They're so delicious. And then we'll dip some truffles for you today as well, after we get the chocolate apples finished.
And is this a fall treat, or do you make these all year round, Jody? These apples?
Yeah,
chocolate apples.
so we really focus on them in the fall, obviously, because this is the harvest time. But as long as Nature Treats have them available, we'll dip them for people. They are in demand. People love them.
And what kind of quantities can you get them?
Yeah, so you can get them in the 2 bags that you see here. There's a $3 size and a $12 size. We sell them dipped in chocolate or without the chocolate, but I obviously recommend the ones dipped in chocolate. There's a little bit of cinnamon and spice on them too. Wonderful.
And then do you want to show us the truffles now? And
Sure,
there's really,
yeah.
like you mentioned, an art to it, right?
Right. So Maureen's going to use a truffle fork. Again, this is a really traditional method for dipping truffles. And what she's doing here is getting the chocolate evenly coated around that ganache ball without bubbles. It looks like it might be easy, but there really is a technique, and we do hundreds of these. We've sold over 18,000 truffles throughout the summer. So.
Well, that looks very, very tasty, that's for sure.
Yeah, thank you.
And if somebody wants to stop by your business and even explain where you're located and what your hours are for the fall.
Yeah, so we're just south of Empire on 22, and we'll be open 10 to 5. A little bit longer hours on Saturday. We'll be open till 6. And then we're online at grocersdaughter.com, and we're currently running a free shipping promotion on our website.
All right, great to know, and thanks so much for joining us, Jody.
Thank you.
But for now, reporting live in Empire, Brendan Kinney, 7 and 4 News.